Today we're going to look at Magic the Gathering cards that have the flips. I'm going to take any card that's either literally a flip card or anything that has two sides to it, so you have to flip it over. All right, we're going to start off with the Student of Elements. It's a blue 1 generic 1/1. When Student of Elements has flying, you get to flip it. Wow, this is an achievement unlocked where we have to give it, what is it called, jump? Something to that effect? Okay, so give it flying and it flips around. All right, and it flips into the Tobita, Master of Winds. Creatures you control have flying. Well, if I gave this flying, probably everything else has flying. Like if I have Wonder in my graveyard or something like that. Seems like a pretty redundant ability. There's no way I'm giving like one thing flying without giving everything else flying. But I guess we got ourselves an artificial Delver of Secrets of some sort. Yeah, double-sided counts. I'll definitely count the double-sided. Just like Steve Cooper gives us Ixidor Reality Sculptor. Now, the Ixidor Reality Sculptor is a blue 3 generic. Oh yeah, we got face-down creatures. This is not what I thought about, but yeah, I guess morph cards absolutely count. Okay, it's a 3/4 wizard, legendary wizard. Face down creatures get +1/+1. So it's a lord for the mysterious creatures and the morph creatures and the mega morphers. It's a blue 2 generic. Turn target face down creature face up. Hey, what's going on over there? Who are you? Lift your box up. I want to see who's really behind this mask. Reality has exiled me. I am no longer bound by its laws. Got it. Okay, next up, Chaos Orb. No, you know what, Chaos Orb? That does not count. It does have the flips, I guess. I'm not counting for it in this show. Okay, we got Shellen with, Invasion of Zendikar. You're gonna make me regret this show. Battles! Green 3 generic for a 3 defense. Okay, as siege enters, whatever, you gotta protect it. When it's defeated, cast it for a transformed cost. When Invasion of Zendikar enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 2 basic lands, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. It's a pretty good ability. It's not bad. And then if we transform it, we flip it over. It's the Awakened Skyclave. The 4/4 elemental. Vigilance and haste, and whenever... So as long as Awakened Skyclave is on the battlefield, it's a land in addition to its other types. That's weird. So it's like... It's elemental land. Well, it does tap for mana, so it's not exactly like a mana cost or anything like that. Mana Crypt is also not going to count, Maddie. No, I understand you flip a coin. The card itself does not flip. We do not flip the Mana Crypt to determine the card. Luis with Fable the Mirror Breaker, absolutely. Perhaps the most broken card probably that's going to be on the show today. 3 mana, Chapter 1, create a 2/2 Goblin that when it attacks you make a treasure. Chapter 2, you may discard up to 2 cards. If you do, draw that many cards. In Chapter 3, you exile it and turn it into the Reflection of Kiki Jiki, and for a mana and tapping it, you get the token of a creature on the battlefield. Islarf, Runetail. Kitsune Ascendant. What is this, some sort of... Oh, it's a Fox Monk. It's one with nothing, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, it's a 3 mana 2/2. When you have 30 or more life, you get to flip the Runetail Kitsune Ascendant. Wow, instantaneously flipping if you're playing Commander. Just put this thing onto the battlefield, boom! And we've got the Runetail's Essence. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control. That's not bad. That's actually really good. I like that. So you have like basically not indestructible, but indestructible to combat damage and blasphemous act to your creatures with the Runetail's Essence. Just you have to get it out early though. Get out early or don't get it out at all. Samurai Motoko says playing tons of flips must be annoying. Oh, it is. I play with a few of them myself. I've been playing with like Sink It to Stupor, and oh my god, taking it out of the sleeve, putting it back in. See but like. I was about to say, you people that don't play with sleeves, you know, you have some secret tech. But I guess that secret tech is, if you're not playing with a sleeve, you can see the other side. Yeah, that's the secret tech. Does anyone let their play group play with flip cards without sleeves? I imagine that could be a thing. It's like, well, whatever. They know, but you know as well. J-Hogue with the Nezumi Grave Robber. We robbing them graves, huh? Oh, there's a lot of Nezumis. A lot. Where's the Grave Robber? Oh, here we go. The one with the flips. Okay, we've got black 1 generic, 2/1 Rat Rogue. For a black 1 generic, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. If no cards are in the graveyard, you get to flip the Nezumi Grave Robber. So you hear that? Rest in Peace plus this card. That's a combo. We get the Night Eyes Desecrator. Black 4 generic, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That's insane. But the problem is if you enable this with, say, Rest in Peace, then there will not be anything in the graveyard. Must sacrifice your Rest in Peace somehow. What's the exact wording? We need exile target card from an opponent's graveyard if no cards are in that graveyard. Oh, that's easy to enable. I think this card is a bit busted. It's 2 mana, and then you can start just shoveling anything from any graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Yeah, exactly. It's 5 mana. Well, hey, we cannot have enough Kenrith, and not everyone can play Kenrith around here. All right, Eslarf. Sometimes you're in mono black, and we got to do what we got to do. We need the Nezumi Grave Robber. It's also a Desecrator, from what I hear. King Ginger with the Elbrus, the Binding Blade. This is an equipment for 7 mana. That looks terrible. +1/+0. When an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player unattached, Elbrus the Binding Blade, and then transform it. Ooh, equipped for 1 mana. And it turns into the Weathengar Unbound. Now it's a 13/13 Flying Intimidate Trampler. Wow, who's gonna even... What has a chance of even blocking this thing? Whenever a player loses the game, put 13 +1/+1 counters on the Weathengar Unbound. Pretty crazy card. This still looks terrible to me. This looks awful. For 7 mana, we can get this thing for free as far as I'm concerned. Well, anyway, moving on. Okay, what else do we got here? Ooh, Abza with Arrayo. I love Arrayo. Nobody even knows what Arrayo does because it's been absolutely banned for forever. Free Arrayo! We need to free Arrayo. It's 2 mana, 1/1 flyer. When the 4th spell of a turn is played, flip the Arrayo Soratami Ascendant and becomes Arrayo's Essence. Counter the first spell by each opponent each turn. So you want to play something, you gotta play 2 things. You gotta throw away that Mana Crypt into the Arrayo's Essence. Just gotta destroy it. It's all. Is that so hard? You just gotta destroy it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple. It's a simple thing to do. Maddie Matson with, I'm gonna get my coin flip with the Ral Monsoon Mage. Super hot card right now because Storm is like a big deal in Modern. It's a red 1 generic 1/3 human wizard. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Totally Storm Fuel. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery during your turn, you can flip a coin. Now, if you lose the flip, Ral deals 1 damage to you. But if you win the flip, you can exile Ral and return to the battlefield transformed into the Ral Leyline Prodigy. It's a 2 loyalty planeswalker, but it enters with an additional loyalty counter for each instant and sorcery spell you cast this turn. It's got +1. Basically, you can get a discount on your spells again. -2, Ral deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Draw a card if you control a blue permanent other than Ral. And also -8, exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast instant and sorcery spells from among them this turn without paying their mana costs. It's a big deal. Ral flips on the front and flips. Yeah, flipping on the front and flips on the back. Likes flipping. Huge. Ral got the flips. I don't like Two-Face. They're a haggle to draft, and I need to take them out of the sleeve. No thanks. All right, Benovsky says no to Two-Face cards. Wow, so you'll forego the power of the Two-Face cards so that you can play sleeveless. Well, it sounds like you've got sleeves, but whatever. Okay, next up. Does making incubator tokens count? The Progenitor Exarch. Progenitor. I'll find out. I can't remember exactly how the incubator works. It's a white XX 1/2 Phyrexian Cat Cleric. When it enters the battlefield, incubate 3x times. To incubate 3, create an incubator token with 3 +1/+1 counters on it, and 2, transform this artifact. It transforms into a 0/0 Phyrexian artifact creature. Tap transform target incubator token you control. I don't get it. Does it flip? Does it flip the card? How does it incubate? Create it. It just makes a token. No, this is. That's disqualified. That one won't work with me. That's unfortunate. Okay, Exesta with Gazella, the Broken Blade. People like taking your blades and turning them into creatures around here. Oh no, this is actually a creature. This is a 4-mana 4/3. Flying first strike lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you both own and control Gazella, the Broken Blade, and a creature named Bruna, the Fading Light, exile them and meld them into Brazella, the Voice of Nightmares. I hate this mechanic. I think this is stupid. And especially when we get on this show, I get to see half this card. Oh yes, let's flip them both and it turns into a mega card. It's a Megazord, people. They're just trying to combine Magic the Gathering, the Power Rangers all in one. Imagine they like, I don't know, do a magical dance and then they turn it. Can we turn this? No, we can't. Yeah, it's like Brazella. What was her name? Gazella and Bruna. Yeah, let's turn into our Megazord. It's disgusting. And then they can unmeld when they're done. Meld is fire. You like meld? Oh, I hate this. Also, it doesn't help that this whole thing looks like an absolute abomination. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool from a Timmy point of view. There we go. Not to turn everyone into a Timmy around here. King Ginger with Jingataxius, the Great Synthesis. The Jingataxius. Oh yeah, this is it, the Jingataxius. There's a lot of Jingataxius before him, but this is the first, the OG. Maybe the teenage version. 5 mana for a 5/5 Phyrexian Praetor, Ward 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, you get to draw a card. Now, pay 4 mana, you exile it, then return it to the battlefield transformed. Okay, activate only as a sorcery and only if you have 7 or more cards in hand, and you get the Great Synthesis. Chapter 1, draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. I have 7! How many more cards do I need in this damn game? Chapter 2, it also says you had no maximum hand size for as long as you control the Great Synthesis. Chapter 2, to return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hand. Wait, boing. And then chapter 3, you can cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. Exile the Great Synthesis, then return it to the battlefield. Now we can go back to our Jingataxius all over again. This is a greedy card. I'm like, okay, you're already in a super greedy spot, and then it gets even more greedy than that. It's crazy. Does Shieldred flip? Is there a flip Shieldred? I don't know one. Oh, are you just saying, oh, you're talking about like drawing cards with Jingataxius? I guess so. The counter to Jingataxius is Shieldred. Okay, Krokor Games with Tetsun. The Gnome Champion. He flips, she flips, they flip, I flip, you flip. Good in Transformer deck. We got the 3 mana 2/2 Gnome. When Tetsun or another double-faced artifact enters the battlefield under your control, mill 3 cards. That you may put an artifact card from among them into your hand. Craft with 6 artifacts. Exile this artifact. Sorry, pay for, exile this artifact. Exile the 6 from among other permanents you control and/or cards from your graveyard. Return this card transformed under its owner's control. Craft only as a sorcery. Ah, the craft cards. 6/6 Gnome, Vigilance Trample. Whenever the Golden Gear Colossus enters the battlefield or attacks, transform up to one other target double-effaced artifact you control. Create 2 1/1 colorless Gnome artifact creature tokens. So this is the transforming card to transform other cards, if I understand this correctly. Oh, is there is there like one Shieldred to rule them all? Okay, hold on. Shield. Okay, there. Oh, I see. You're right. You're all right. Okay, we got a Shieldred here. 5 mana, 4/5 Phyrexian Praetor with Menace. Always a 4/5. Okay, when enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker. 5 mana, exile Shieldred, return, only activate as a sorcery, and then only if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Gotta fill them bodies. We need to kill more people, says Shieldred. Now we got the True Scriptures, Chapter 1. For each opponent, destroy up to 1 target creature or planeswalker that player controls. Also, Chapter 2, each opponent discards 3 cards, then mills 3 cards. That's not that bad. I mean, at this point of the game, you probably have no cards, unless you're up against the Jin-Gitaxias player. Chapter 3, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. Exile the True Scriptures, then return to the battlefield. We didn't even kill the damn Shieldred. This card's sort of wild. Pretty crazy. Yeah, it danger! It danger. All right, John, what do we got for us? Sasaya. Orochi Ascendant. Back to them classic flippy cards. 3 mana for a 2/3. Reveal your hand. If you have 7 or more land cards in your hand, flip Sasaya. I have nothing. Again, we need 7. Oh no, we need 7 lands? Your deck sucks. Oh my goodness. We have to build a really bad deck in order to flip this thing. This thing better be insane. Okay, whenever a land you control is tapped for mana, add 1 mana of that type to your mana pool for each other land you control with the same name. So what, I need a bunch of basic lands or something to really, like, enable this? Because otherwise, like, you only have 1 of each land in your deck. You commander play it. What is this worth? It's worth $2! Who the hell is buying this thing? People are like, I can make this work. I know it. Biggest spec of all time. If you have 9 forests, they each tap for 8. Yeah, but you need the 4. I guess so. Just playing a mono green deck, it's a bit weird. All right, people are pumping up the value of the Sasaya's Essence. Cole 1 with Huntmaster of the Fells. Shout out to the Wolf fam. Okay, there's a 4 mana 2/2 human werewolf. When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Huntmaster of the Fells, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield, and you of course gain a little bit of sweet life. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, you transform the Huntmaster of the Fells. See, this is how Day and Night should have worked. They should have just called this Day and Night. They didn't. There's nothing wrong with this ability. Yeah, if no spells were cast last turn, I don't care who didn't cast the spells. If nobody did, you flip it over into Ravager of the Fells. The 4/4 werewolf with trample. If it transforms, it deals 2 damage. Where's my damage? And 2 damage to deals 2 damage to target opponent and 2 damage to up to 1 target creature that player controls. And then at the beginning of the upkeep of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 spells, you get to transform it back. Do coin flips count? No. The card got flipped. We can do a coin flip show some other time. We are flipping things. Shellen loves the double flip cards. We have an insane amount of double face cards. Morph, Cloak, Daybound, Nightbound, Werewolves, Battles, the Neo Sagas, and many more. See, a lot of cards have the flips. Okay? Pacers fan forever with Garrick the Relentless. Because he's relentless. Especially if it flips over and over again. Okay, we got a 4 mana 3/3. When it has 2 or fewer loyalty counters on him, transform him. 0 deals 3 damage to target creature. That creature deals damage equal to its power to him. And also 0 make a 2/2 green wolf creature token. The idea is to fight something, or I guess deal 3 damage. fights back to the Garrick, and you can flip your Garrick into the Veil Cursed. Now, this is a +1. Put a 1/1 black wolf creature token with Death Touch onto the battlefield. That's a pretty good ability. Then we have, this is also super powerful. -1, sack a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So you got a little tutoring action going on over here. Then -3, creatures you control gain trample and get +X/+X. Where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. It's the other, hold on, Elgot says it's the other way around. The Huntmaster of the Felds mechanic means that some werewolves can be in wolf form while others are in human form, which is a flavor fail. It's okay, the flavor fail is fine with me. Okay, next up, Ryan Harris with the Chaos, no. We disqualified that one a long time ago. Brutal Cathar. From Turia. Oh my god, I hate this card. Played against this card quite a few times in Pioneer, and it just absolutely blows me out. 3 mana, 2/2 human soldier werewolf. When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. So just like ETB and flip, just start swiping your stuff away one at a time. The other side doesn't really matter. It's just like first strike, ward 3, pay 3 life, 3/3 creature. This should have been the front side. This should have been the front side, and then it turns, and then this should have been the back side. God, I hate this. I hate playing against this card. It's a real blowout in one-on-one Magic, let me tell you that. Okay, next up. Me and Bruley. Ooh, Grist, the new Grist. Voracious Larva. Ended up seeing absolutely no play. Sorry about that, Grist. A lot of people thought you were going to be good. You ended up being worthless. In competitive Magic, that is. It's a green 1/2 insect, Death Touch. When Grist, Voracious Larva, or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from your graveyard or you cast it from your graveyard, you may pay a green. If you do, exile, then return it into Grist, the Plague Swarm. It's a 3 loyalty Grist, +1, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill 2 cards. Put a Death Touch counter on the token if a black card was milled this way. -2, destroy. Target artifact or enchantment. Also, -6 for each creature card in your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 black and green insect. Little bug form around here. Hey, don't worry. When the time comes, all will be bugs. All right, we're all gonna turn into bugs one day. We're all Grist in some way. Find your inner Grist. Ryan Harris wasn't there for the disqualification. Believe it or not, Ryan, you're the 3rd person to be disqualified for suggesting Mana Crypt, and I bet you're not going to be the last. Next up, we'll go with Jess's Growing Rights of Itlamok. This is a 3 mana legendary enchantment. Now it enters the battlefield. You look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them. Put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom. Now at the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 or more creatures, it transforms. I should have... in a dramatic way, I could say, it transforms into Itlamok, Cradle of the Sun. A legendary land that taps for a green, and also taps for a green for each creature you control. Guy's Cradle at home. You're a little short on, like, how much is a Guy's Cradle now? Like $1,000 or $800. You get yourself an Itlamok, Cradle of the Sun. Also, other Guy's Cradles at home are things like, what's it called? The Devotion card. Nykthos. Shrine to Nyx. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, perfect timing for that sound. I know. SD Shogun with the Search for Azcanta. One of my personal favorites. Oh, they got a new art for this thing. Blue 1 generic at the beginning of your upkeep. Oh, Surveil. It's officially Surveil now, where we being fancy. Search for Azcanta. Then if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you can transform Search for Azcanta into Azcanta the Sunken Ruin. Tapped out a blue, and also a blue with 2 generic. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, and put them into your hand. Sorry, put it into your hand. Don't put them all. That'd be cheating. And then put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Great card. I like it anyway, huh? Okay, we got Pacers Fan Forever. Huntmaster of the... We did Huntmaster of the Fells. Weren't you there for? You must have just joined us. Sorry about that, Pacers Fan Forever. We're going to donate your super chat to... Nicholas, Edgar, Charm Groom. Oh, God. The card's good. That's a good, oh, no, I'm thinking of the other, I'm thinking of something, sorry. Thinking of the Sorin flip card. This one, I don't know. This could be trash. It's a 4-mana 4/4 Vampire Noble. Other vampires you control get +1/+1. All right, so it's a lord. Then when it dies, returns to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. You get like a 2-for-1 here. You don't even need to put any work into it. You just let it have it on the... Someone's going to kill it anyway. This is an amazing card. But it turns into the Markov's Coffin. Well, that doesn't sound so... I don't like that all of a sudden. Oops. That sounds terrible. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white and black vampire creature token with lifelink and put a bloodline counter on Edgar Markov's Coffin. Then if there are 3 or more bloodline counters on it, you remove them. And then Edgar is back. Can't keep a good Edgar down. It's impossible. PM is like, have we done Delver yet? Also, hold on. Steve Cooper is like, Guy's Cradle is 2.33k in Canadian? No way! That's insane. They're like Spike or something? Impossible. Maybe for near mint graded or something. Delver. I wonder how many Commander players don't know this card exists, because it's like it's a pretty poopy card for Commander. 1 mana 1/1. Look at the top at your beginning of your upkeep. Look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. If it's an instant or sorcery, it turns into the 3/2 flyer. Wow! Just Commander players so excited over this one, or I should say, not so excited. Okay, super chat. Crowcore Games. Ratchet Field Medic. Speaking of Transformers. Ratchet? Oh, yeah, it literally transforms in more than one way. Okay, we have a white 2 generic 2/4 robot, more than meets the eye for 2 mana. You can cast the card converted for 2 mana. Lifelink. Whenever you gain life, you may convert Ratchet. When you do, return target artifact card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you gain this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And we got, when it converts, it's gonna be, it looks like some ambulance. The Rescue Racer. It's got living metal. As long as it's your turn, this vehicle is also a creature. Well, we always knew they were creatures. Everybody's car is somebody's baby. Okay, lifelink. Whenever one or more non-artifact creatures you control are put into a graveyard from the battlefield, convert! Ratchet. This ability only triggers once each turn. I hope it's not flipping over and over again. That would be incredibly annoying. Okay, next up, we're going to go to the Jack Estrada, The Modern Age. This is a 2-mana saga. Chapter 1, draw a card, then discard a card. Chapter 2, also draw a card and discard a card. Chapter 3, exile the saga. And it turns into Vector Glider, a 2/3 fly. Is that it? This is on the same level as Delver of Secrets. I guess you looted a little bit. That's not worthless. It's not terrible, but it's not the most exciting flip card in the world. Well. Oh, we've got the fourth person to suggest Chaos Orb. It's not that type of show. Yeah, that's right. Toilet Duck says sponsor music. What do you mean sponsors music? You don't fall asleep to our sponsors. They pay for the show to be around here. You must pay tribute to the sponsors like FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week, save 15% off all Assassin Magic cards. So if you like to play with those creature tokens or creatures that will kill people in one shot, one kill, you can get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. Of course, it supports the channel and supports yourself when you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online on Magic Online. Play Standard, Modern, Pioneer, Legacy, Vintage, Commander, and more. It's the only digital client that lets you play with all the paper formats. And you can support the channel renting cards on Mana Traders to play there. You can support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_IEP. You can't even say I eat P. Just to remember that. You heard that? You heard it here first, people. Nikachu eats P. For Mana Traders. I'm doing what, man, am I selling out too far here? I've gone too low. Okay, we got Bandit Keith. One of the greatest cheaters of all of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falling Star. Does this flip anything? This doesn't work. This doesn't flip anything. No. I know this is flipping coins, but it doesn't actually work. Hey, Ryan, how's it going? Epic Nate with Handwear Militia Captain. El Capitan. Okay, is it Handwear? Whatever. 2 mana for a 2/2 human soldier. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 more creatures, we get to transform this thing. You gotta have a lot of creatures out. And it turns into the Westvale Cult Leader with a star power and toughness equal to the number of creatures I control. And at the beginning of your end step, you get another 1/1 white and black human cleric creature token onto the battlefield to help buff up this thing. Yeah, almost as good as the code P9S. You all know. You all remember. Yeah, some of the top 10 coupon codes from Mana Traders, that's for sure. All right, Crowcore Games. You want to storm the vaults? So we shall. Mom, can we have Tolarian Academy? Tolarian Academy at home, huh? The 4-mana legendary enchantment. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure artifact token with tap. Sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana. And then at the beginning of your end step, if you control 5 or more artifacts, which include in those treasures, you transform Storm the Vault into Vault of the Catlacan. Tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, or add a blue to your mana pool for each artifact you control. Don't lose any of those artifacts, people. Don't lose those artifacts. Toads, Arlen Cord. Arlen! Oh, how many werewolf players are there out there? I know there's a huge... You people love this set. Basically ate up... what's it called? What was this? Shadows over Innistrad? Yeah, Shadows over... In this block, I think the werewolf players were like, finally, enough playables to make a commander deck. 4 mana for 3 loyalty. +1. Until end of turn, up to 1 target creature gets +2/+2 and gains vigilance and haste. Or 0, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield, then we transform our Arlen. And she will transform into Arlen, embraced by the moon. Arlen, what happened to all your clothes? In the lore, does it do, like, what happens? Like, the sun's gonna come up, right? That's how it works? Then they're just gonna transform back into the normal person. Shouldn't they be wearing something really stretchy? Some sort of spandex-like stuff? That can what's it called, that can handle the transformation? Yeah, she's naked. It's not a big deal now, but come sunrise, it'll be a problem. Okay, +1. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn. -1. Arlen, embraced by the moon, deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Transform Arlen, embraced by the moon. Her clothes are back. What a weird surprise. -6. You get an emblem with creatures you control have haste and tap. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. Everything can shoot. Everything gets shot straight to the face. She likes going command. She does like going commando, I suppose. Which is the worst, normal werewolves or day-night werewolves? Day-night, easily. God, just anything with the day-night mechanic can just go to hell. 'Cause the problem is, once the day-night mechanic is online, it like now you have to follow it for the rest of the game. So awful. Lowest Urza Saga Guy's Curl goes for about 700 Canadian or USD. I don't know. Oh yeah, that seems a little bit more reasonable. Guess if it's like, if the Guy's Cradle's in super pristine condition, it can go for quite a bit. Okay, Bastok Republic. We got the Chalice of Lie. Is that a real card? Chalice of Lies, maybe? Chalice of... How many chalices are there? Oh, life! That's quite different, Bastok Republic. You got the Chalice of Life and the Chalice of Lies. Don't believe anything I say while I have this chalice out. Alright, it's a 3-mana artifact. Tap, you gain 1 life. Then if you have at least 10 more life, then your starting life total, we transform the Chalice of Life. Oh, you have to have 10 more than your starting life total. Alright, so commander players, you gotta be up to 50. Chalice of Death. Target player loses 5 life. Lightning bolt every turn. Burn players are just salivating over this. You could do it, burn players. Look, step 1, use Lightning Helix 4 times. Step 2, Chalice of Death. And hope step 3, win the game. Hopefully. Not as cool as Day and Night in Pokemon. I'm sure it's way cooler there. I have no faith in the Day and Night here in Day and Night in Magic the Gathering. That is an absolute pain. I swear they like just play tested that mechanic online and just completely ignored how people would play with it in person. Okay, Pedgeman. Does the Urza Lord Protector count? Oh, is that one of those stupid meld cards? Technically, yes, it counts. 3 mana for a 2/4 Human Artificer. Artifacts, instant, and sorcery spells cost 1 less to cast. You hear that? Urza's having a discount. Everything must go. Pay 7. If you both own and control Urza Lord Protector and an artifact named the Might Stone and Weak Stone, exile them, meld them into Urza Planeswalker. Sacrifice only as a sorcery. Here's our shot, people. That's it. That's all we see. We don't need to see the other cards. That's what I hate about the. At least it doesn't look so ugly. He looks sort of cool in this picture. Looks great. Urza, you've never looked better. Okay, Ryan Saf, the Bloodline Keeper. Oh, this is like one of the most absolute popular vampires. I don't know why. I think because it makes tokens? 4 mana for a 3/3 flying vampire. Tap, put a 2/2 black vampire creature token onto the battlefield. Also pay a black. Transform only if you have 5 or more vampires. Get that vampire army out. I know you got your leader, the Lord of Lineage. A flying vampire. Sorry, it's a flying vampire, of course. Other vampires you control get +2/+2. That's quite the boost. And tap, you still putting the vampires in play. Lord of Lineage brings all the vampires to the yard. All of them. Next up. Who hasn't got a card? I don't know if, did Toilet Duck get a card? Invasion of New Capenna. Looks like an uncard, to be honest. All these battles look like uncards. Alright, 2 mana for a 4 defense siege. When Invasion of New Capenna enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. When you do, exile. Target artifact or creature an opponent controls. What did you say? It looks like an uncard, to be honest. Oh, because it looks like some sort of circus. I totally get that. And then the Holy Phrasal Cannon. Holy Phrasal Cannon, Batman. Whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature and each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. Also equipped for 1. Okay, next up. Are we on a super chat or not? I think it's super chat time. Crowcore Games with the Mystic Skull. Sure is a mana rock that exists. Is there a flipping mana rocks? 2 mana, artifact, pay 1 tap, 1 mana of any color. Oh, it's more like filter. It's not really a mana rock. Pay 5, transform the Mystic Skull into the Mystic Monstrosity. You wear the skull, you become the thing. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. That's such a poor payoff. And also, it's just a 5. It's basically you just transform your your mana filter into a 5/6 creature. Merfolk Precon would go absolutely nuts. With what? The Mystic Monastery? Or the Invasion of Duke Capenna? Okay, next up. Epic Nate with the Archangel Avacyn. This card this is one of the more powerful cards on the show today. 5 mana for a 4/4. Now it's got flash, so you're not gonna see this one. You're not gonna see this card coming. Flying Vigilance, and when Avacyn Archangel enters the battlefield, creatures you control are indestructible until end of turn. Okay, and then when a non-angel creature you control dies, transform Archangel Avacyn at the beginning of the next upkeep because she's pissed. Flying and a 6/5 creature. When transformed, it deals 3 damage to each other creature and each opponent. You all get blasted straight to the face. Next up, we've got King Ginger. Sink into Stupor. I play this card a lot now. Sink into Stupid. Doesn't look like much, but it's just like an all-around convenient card. It's a 3 mana instant. Return target spell or non-land permanent an opponent controls to their owner's hand. The benefit to this is you can pitch it to your pitch spells, Subtlety, Force of Will, Force of Negation, while still being also a land, because if you flip it over, it's a land. You want to untap, you take 3 damage. Alright? Some sacrifices need to be made around here. You can still tap for a blue, alright? It's just like an island. I just dealt 3 damage to myself, that's all. Draconic with Nicol Bolas. Oh, you don't say Draconic. The person with the dragon avatar wants to get a dragon on the show, do they? The Ravager. Not enough dragons. No, not enough dragons. 4 mana, 4/4 flyer. Enters the battlefield. Each opponent discards a card. That should be a sign of things to come. 7 mana, exile it. Transform it, only as a sorcery. To Nicobolus the Arisen. +2 to draw 2 cards. Also -3, deal 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. -4, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library. So, can do a magic trick. First you see it, now you don't. Very, very strong Nicobolus card. Super good. Okay, next up, Ryan Seff with Etali. Primal. You people love your Etali for some damn reason. The Big Bone. Okay, Primal Sickness. I think it's this one, Primal Conqueror into Primal Sickness, right? Yep. 7 mana for a 7/7 trample. ETB, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying its mana cost. It's basically Cascade out of your deck. And then transform it for 9 mana and a Phyrexian into Etali Primal Sickness. Trample Indestructible. When it deals combat damage to a player, that player gets that many poison counters. So beware. Because if you get hit for the full 11, you dead. It's over. Big Bone. Big wall of bones, that's for sure. Hey, Darkstar. Stefan with the Tithing Blade. More blades. Blades that transform. Is this like the One Ring? Sorin is bound to the item or something? It's a black 1 generic artifact. ETB, each opponent sacks a creature. Craft with creature. Exile this artifact. Exile a creature you control or a creature card from your graveyard. Return under your control into the Consuming Sepulture, whatever the hell that means. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's terrible. I don't think that's worth it. Nikachu, you counting manifest cards? No. Because like, are there any cards you can manifest from your hand? I mean, if that's true, don't you manifest off the top of your library or something like that? So it's like random. So there are cards that will manifest, but I don't know if there's a card like you manifest on the battlefield like a what's it called? Morph. Okay, next up. See you later, Ryan. And another Rhine. I've actually won games against Control due to the flip side of that card. Oh, you like this Consuming Sepulture. The Sepulture. Z-Mac. Avabruck. Caretaker. Okay, this is a 6 mana 4/4 human werewolf. Hexproof. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2+1/+1 counters on another target creature you control. And Daybound. And ruin the wedding dress. Look, it just broke off right there. I would think she'd be freaking out about that. It's like, oh no, not again. Not in this dress. 6/6 hexproof. Other perms you control have hexproof. Do you know what did not have hexproof though? Is the dress. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2+1/+1 counters on each creature you control. And also has Nightbound. Cute doggo. What, the pet over here? Did the dog? Oh, the doggo transformed too! Look at that! Was little pup? It was little pup, and then all of a sudden, big doggo. I don't know how to explain this in any other way. I think flip cards don't work well in person, other than the Kamigawa ones. They work. I'm not thrilled about playing with them, but they work. What happened to my super chats? Am I not getting notifications? Alright, Crowcore Games. Annoying for Tetsun, Might Stone, and Weak Stone is 3 sides, weird meld rules. LOL, can we get Oger Oxenil? Deepest Might. Cards unassuming and dangerous. 4 mana for a 4/4 god. Trample. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Oger Oxenil's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to Oger Oxenil's power instead. Sorry, there's more words to this. When Oger Oxenil dies, return to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. I like the ones that transform when they're dead. That's great. So it's like there's like some disincentive to kill my creature. And we got tap for a red or 3 mana tap. Transform Temple of Power. Activate only if red sources you controlled dealt 4 or more non-combat damage this turn, and only as a sorcery. Okay, next up. Teamer. The Soul Caesar. 5 mana, 1/3 Flying Spirit. When Soul Caesar deals combat damage to a player, you may transform it. That's it. 5 mana, deal 1 point of damage. It is but a flesh wound. Turns into Ghastly Gaunting. Enchanted creature. You control enchanted creature. How about for 4 mana? Like, you know, I could, for a lot less mana, control that creature anyway. I could do it for 4. This seems terrible. I mean, I guess if you're looking for playables to, like, take control of your opponent's creatures, I guess you play this thing. Alright, next up, we've got the Vulcan Grey with the Skin Invasion. That sounds disgusting. Obscure and underrated. Who's invading my skin? You! 1 red aura. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature attacks each combat if able, but when an enchanted creature dies, return in skin invasion to the battlefield transformed under your control. And it becomes the Oh, is this... Are you talking... This can't be any good in Commander. Maybe 1-on-1 or something. That's possible. It's Gregory! It's Gregory, people. Does anyone recognize that it's Gregory? It was small before, now big. As far as I see. Okay, Bell says, have we done Ireo? Yes. Have we done Nezumi Shortfang? I don't think we've done Nezumi Shortfang. We did the Grave Robber. Nezumi Shortfang. Alright, this is a 2 mana for a 1/1 Rat Rogue. For 2 mana, tap, target opponent discards a card. Then if that player has no cards in hand. So if they're empty-handed, their gas tank is on 0. We flip it into the Stab Whisker the Odious. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player loses 1 life for each card fewer than 3 in their hand. Oh, it's basically we turned this into a wreck. This card's not bad. I like this card. Discard somebody's hand, trigger it, and then fill it up again. Or flip it, and then start dealing damage to your opponent. Vulcan Gray says, I run that red card in my Gold Commander deck. Ah, I see the Gold Commanders. Okay, next up. We have Pyro Bob. No disguise cards yet, so the Hunted Bone Brute. Yeah, I don't think we have any disguise cards yet. 3 mana for a 6/2 with Menace. When Hunted Bone Brute enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 2/1/1 dog creature tokens. When Hunted Bone Brute dies, each opponent loses 3 life, and it's got Disguise. You know, that creature's a little sussy. How does that work? So what, like for 2 mana you can flip it? So I'm assuming, or how is it? Is it going to be like for 3 mana? I have no idea how this card works actually. I know how disguise works, but not so easy to understand how. Like, I play with Cryptic Coat, and when it enters the battlefield, I get, like, a disguised creature in the first place. I don't put, like, disguised creatures in play. It's Morph, but it's a 2/2 with Ward 2. Is that it? So I pay 3 mana and I get it disguised. And what's the disguise cost? This is the cost of me flipping it up. If you pay the 2, it becomes a 2/2. Oh, it's 2 mana. I disguise for 2 mana. Then I have to prove its worth afterwards. Interesting. Very interesting. Stefan, Westville Abbey. Westvale Abbey. Great land. Tap for a mana. Pay 5. And tap. Pay 1 life. Get a 1/1 cleric. Human cleric. And also pay 5. Sacrifice 5 creatures. To transform Westvale Abbey into the Ormondale Profane Prince, a 9/7 flying lifelink indestructible haste creature. Don't be screw around with this card, that's for sure. Steve Cooper, Azor's Gateway, and donate 3. Backside is way too tempting in my life gain deck. Okay, so we've got the 2 mana. Oh, what happened here? Oh. Hold on. Just cleaning up some stuff up here. Okay, good. Okay, Azor's Gateway. This is a legendary artifact for 2 mana. Pay 1 tap, draw a card, then exile a card from your hand. If there are 5 or more different converted mana costs are exiled with Azor's Gateway, you gain 5 life. Untap Azor's Gateway and transform it into the Sanctum of the Sun. Tap to add X mana of any one color to your mana pool, where X is your life total. Holy moly! That's a lot of mana. Screw Nykthos and Gaia's Cradle and all this other crap. And just gain life and get even more mana. Spend your mana to gain more life. Stream of Life is a combo with this thing. Super big combo. Okay, next up. Matt McCloskey with Reckless Wife? You mean like waifu? Okay, not Reckless Waifu. There's a misspelling here. It's a red 1/1 human rogue werewolf. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Reckless Wife. Yes, I'm alone. No, I'm not worried. Because she turns into a werewolf. She will bite your face off. She's a 3/2 werewolf at the beginning of each upkeep. If a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, oh, there's the classic. These classic cards. Yeah, I know. Talk about ramp. That last one, that's crazy. Anyone didn't get a card yet? Oh boy, I don't know if got one. Cryptolith Fragment. Crypto! They keep saying crypto all over this game. So that's no joke. Wizards was trying to attract the crypto bros into the game. 2 mana enchantment. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I bet there's a greater than 0% chance that if someone plays Cryptolith right, they own Bitcoin or something to that effect. They want you to mine the crypt. Yeah, well, I'm mining mana with this card, because that's what they do. Creatures you control, tap to add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool. Did I get the wrong card? What did I do? Oh, we want the fragment. Oh yeah, this doesn't flip. That other one doesn't even flip. Okay, we need the fragment here. Okay. Enters battlefield tap. Now, you tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Each player loses 1 life. Now, at the beginning of your upkeep, if each player has 10 or less life, transform Cryptolith Fragment. Everyone gotta be low. Low to the ground. Into the Aurora of Emrakul. Does it smell like fart? It's a 1/4 Eldrazi Reflection with flying and death touch. When the Aurora of Emrakul attacks, each opponent loses 3 life. I think they should have Annihilator 3, as far as I'm concerned. Welcome, Adam. It's an artifact. It's an artifact. That's right. It is an artifact. Celtic Guardian. Curious, does the flip cards in question is by certain conditions? It can be any card that flips, either turns around or flips over. Next. Pedgeman. I've been running Invasion of Alara. In standard in a Cascade deck. Pretty fun when it goes off. Otherwise, you used to play Primal Amulet in Nexus of Fate. You have the right to boo. Oh, by all means. Might even boo this thing. Invasion of Alara. When you ETB, exile cards on the top of your library until you exile 2 non-land cards with a mana value 4 or less. You may cast one of those 2 cards without paying the mana cost. Put one of them into your hand and put the other on the bottom. Put the other cards exiled this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's value. Get a card for free, basically. And then if you can defeat its defense, you get the Awaken the Maelstrom. Now this is a sorcery that's all colors. Target player draws 2 cards. You may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. Create a token that's a copy of a permanent you control. Distribute 3+1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 creatures you control and destroy target permanent and opponent controls. Card does it all. I guess that's fine. Alrighty, I have one that might be okay. The Mystic Skull. If not done yet. I don't. Oh, we did that one. Sorry about that. Yeah. You wear the Mystic Skull and it's all over. Let's see. Who hasn't got a card yet? Toladuck is persistent, so. Rahilda. Wanted Cutthroat. Alchemy! I can tell who was on Arena right now, you know. Toilet Duck plays on Arena for sure. Plays probably Historic or Alchemy. Okay, we have a 2 mana 2/2 human werewolf with first strike. When deals combat damage to a player, exile an online card from their library at random. Of course, because that's exactly how Alchemy works around here. During any turn you attack with a wolf or werewolf, you may cast that card and you may spend mana as or mana of any color to that to cast that spell. Also has date bound. And then when it flips, it turns into the 2/2 Rahilda Feral Outlaw. Double strike. When Hilda Feral Outlaw deals combat damage to a player, exile a non-land card from their library at random. What is the point of this? During any turn you attacked with a wolf or werewolf, you may cast that card and you may spend mana as though or mana of any color to cast that spell. Oh, so we just basically rip something random out of the opponent's deck and play it for our own. Pathways absolutely count. Absolutely, 100%. 1 million. His fan with Fan Forever with Heliod the Radiant Dawn. Four mana for a 4/4 god. When Heliod the Radiant Dawn enters the battlefield, return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand. Pay 4. Transform Heliod the Radiant Dawn. Activate only as a sorcery. And it turns into Heliod the Warped Eclipse. I didn't know you could Phyrexianize a god. You may cast spells as though they had flash. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn. I guess you have to hope your opponent draws a lot of cards. It's the only way to do it around here. Big Bone Records. Turgrid. Got it for, I think we did this one. Did we? No, we didn't do that one. Okay, sorry. Okay, we got a 5 mana 4/5 god with Menace. Very, very, very menacing. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. How do we flip? Oh, yeah, we don't flip this necessarily. We can just play the other side. Tergrid's Lantern, the 4-mana legendary artifact. Tap. Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrificed a non-land permanent or discarded a card. And also, you just pay 4 mana. Untap your Lantern. The only good thing about this card is the name. What was that for the last one? What, Heliod, the Warped Eclipse? I think it was worth a little bit more than that. All right, we're now in the, it's now Super Chat, paywall, everything at this point. Croker Games with the Branch of Vitu-Ghazi. Branch of Vitu. Oh, this is a new card. This is a land that taps for a colorless, but you can disguise it for 3 mana. When Branch of Vitu-Ghazi is turned face up, add 2 mana of any one color. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Good stuff. Pabno with Quality Poet of Unity from Commander. It does everything. Just a little bit slow. Oh, that's okay. Everything's slow in Commander. That's why you got 4 players taking turns at the same time. Everyone will slow the game down. 3 mana for a 2/3 human ward bard. When a Quality Poet of Unity enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. 5 mana, exile Quality, return her to the battlefield, transformed under her control at sorcery speed. For Roar of the Fifth People. 4 chapters, holy crap. Okay, chapter 1, create 2 3/3 green dinosaur creature tokens. Chapter 2, Roar the Fifth People gains creatures control, can tap for Naya mana. Chapter 3, search your library for a dinosaur card, reveal and put into your hand, then shuffle. Get a little bit of a tutor action going on here. This card is actually quite good. And then chapter 4, dinosaurs you control gain double strike and trample until end of turn. That could be trouble. We got Jaren Tilford. Thank you so much for your $2. You didn't say anything. Do I have to look for what you said, Jaren? Jaren! Oh, Jaren fixed it. Did you have another one? Okay, I'll donate that one for you, Jaren. We're gonna donate one. Let's see, what is it for Ginka say? No card. I don't know if Anointed Procession counts. Anointed. Anointed Pete. This absolutely does not flip. Nothing to do with flipping. Arguls, blood fast. Okay, it does transform. 2 mana legendary enchantment, pay 2, and then pay 2 life. Draw a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 5 or less, you may transform Argul's blood fast. And we're going to transform into the Temple of Aquazots, a legendary land that taps for black mana, or you sack a creature and tap it, and you gain life equal to that sacrificed creature's toughness. Next up, Vulcan Grey. Pretend King Ginger asked for hostile... hostile? Is that what King Ginger actually tried to get into the game? Okay, we got tap for a colorless, pay 1, tap, sacrifice a creature, put a soul counter on hostile. Then if there are 3 or more soul counters on it, remove those counters, transform it, then untap it, only activate only as a sorcery, and turns into the Creeping Inn. Your hotel has come alive. When Creeping Inn attacks, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard, and if you do, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creature cards exiled with the Creeping Inn. Pay 4, also Creeping Inn phases out. No more exiling, just phasing in and out. All right, next up, we've got... Okay, Jaren's real super chat. Thing in the ice. Now, this card definitely going to flip. 2 mana for a 0/4 with Defender. 4 ice counters. You cast an instant and sorcery, you remove an ice counter. It's got none left, turns into Awoken Horror. And when this creature when it transforms into the Awoken Horror, You're gonna return all non-horror creatures back to their hands. Not gonna affect them changelings. Immunity. Changelings have immunity. Complete immunity here. Okay, Crowcore Games. Undercover Crocodile. Remind me of the Hellboy. Crocodile. It's a real card. 6 mana for a 5/5. Deals combat damage, you investigate. Also, it's got disguise for 5 mana. Was that it? Okay, you can disguise it. Disguise it, and it's absolutely nothing. It'll be just a 2/2 with ward. And then you can turn it to an undercover crocodile. Pabno, donate 1. Thank you so much, Pabno, for your donation. Who are you gonna donate to? Who didn't get a card yet today? That's the real question. Julian didn't get a card. Grimlock. The Dinobot leader. Oh my god, this is not even a real card. Okay, 4 mana for a 4/4. Dinos, vehicles, and other Transformers creatures you control get +2/+0. Pay to convert a Transformer toy you own to its other mode, Grimlock. Dinobot leader becomes Grimlock Ferocious King. There it is, I guess. It's an 8/8 dinosaur now. Trample. Pay to convert a Transformers toy you own to its other mode, Grimlock Ferocious King becomes Grimlock Dinobot leader. This is the Zords. See, this is Power Rangers. This is real Power Rangers over here. Not any Transformers, but Transformers trademark. I think they're ripping off Power Rangers. Okay, next up, we've got Tom Squires. I'm late to the party, so let's... Oh, a lot of donations today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, who's gonna get this one? Is anyone who did not get a card? Astral Archon. Hualti is a fun commander. I like using her to search out Gizath and use Howlpack Piper. Just to send him out every time I play Howlpack Piper. I just hope it stays until my next turn. Don't we all? You know what, Astral Archon? I think we can resonate with that sentence. Whenever I play card X, I just hope I can stay alive until next turn. 4 mana for a 2/2 human werewolf. This spell cannot be countered. Sorry about that, counterspell players. We have 2 mana tap. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Oh my god, it's a Piper. It's Elvish Piper, but in the Howlpack form. If it's a wolf or werewolf, untap Howlpack Piper. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh my god, we could go infinite here. And it transforms. How do we transform again? Oh, it's just a day-bound thing. Wild Song Howler for a 4/4. It's a werewolf. Whenever this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Wild Song Howler, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it to your hand. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Might as well be Brainstorm or Ponder or something like that, or Impulse. It's the Pied Piper for Magic, I suppose so. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. Just wanted to know if you see it. Oh, I see. I see your super chat. You know why? 'Cause you're next. You're next, Vic the Foxy Gamer. Congratulations. The battle of Muraganda. Battle of something. Okay, you didn't got it right. The Battle of Mu. Battle of Mu. Battle of Mu. Oh God. Battle of something. Oh, this is too vague, though. Battle of Mu thing. This doesn't exist. Oh, I think it's not. Okay, hold on. I'll look up Muraganda. The invasion. That's what it was, an invasion. It was more than a battle. It was an invasion. It's a 5 mana siege with 6 defense. Enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, then that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. We fighting around here. You want to fight? I'm invading you. Primordial Plasm. It's a 4/4 ooze. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature gets +2/+2 and loses all abilities until end of turn. Alright, next up. Donation thanks to Vulcan. All right, thank you very much, King Ginger. We're gonna donate to now. Chosen one, only one. It that rides as one. The Lone Rider. The 2-mana 1/1. First strike and lifelink. You know, I like the lifelink. I don't like the power and toughness on this first striker though. 1/1 is a little small. Now at the beginning of the end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, no thanks to the Lone Rider, we get to transform it into It That Rides as One, a 4/4 first strike trample life. Now that card is good. I'm afraid like flipping that though is a little more work than it's worth. I should say a lot more work than it's worth. Any suggestions what color works good with white angels? White. Just a guess. I also think green. Green is a good support color. To maybe tutor out some angels, get more angels out, stuff like that. Okay, next up, we're gonna take a look at King Ginger's Jaren Corrupted Bishop. Jaren, I looked at this one. Hold on. Corrupted Bishop. Corrupted. It's Jiren. G-E. Okay, 3 mana for a 2/3. The guy's smiling big time. Definitely a cult leader. Human Cleric. When Jaren Corrupted Bishop enters the battlefield or another non-token human you control dies, you lose 1 life and you create a 1/1 white human creature token. Now, you pay 2, target human you control gains lifelink until end of turn, and at the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life, you can pay 6 mana if you do transform Jaren. That is highly specific. That is highly situational. You need exactly 13 life. And again, this Ormondel card. Flying Trample and lifelink. Sack another creature, draw a card. Yeah, maybe not worth the effort on this. This one's tough. Wow. Oops, hold on. Let's get back there. You need to be exactly... Target human control gains lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life. God, that sounds so difficult to pull off. Jaren Tillfort, another donation because my dad is cancer-free. Oh, congratulations! That is great news! Defeating cancer is like defeating everything. Defeating death, basically. Oh, congratulations on that. Okay, so we're going to donate this one to... What was the fight? What was the golem that fights itself for golem factor? I have no idea. Avatar of Woe with the treasure vault. Treasure vault. All right. Does that flip? It doesn't flip. Disqualified. No flipping whatsoever. We set a tally. Here we go with Matt. Conqueror's Galleon. Okay, this is a 4-mana 2/10 vehicle. When it attacks, exile it at the end of combat. Then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. You can crew for 4. It's kind of weird calling a ship a vehicle. It's not like it has that many moving parts, you know. You know, they don't call it set sail by putting a key in the ignition, turning it on. I mean, I know some... There are, you know, there's some boats that... They're vehicles. Not that one! That is not... That does not use any sort of gas, coal, solar, electric... Well, it uses wind power. Super old-fashioned. Okay, Conqueror's Foothold transforms into a land. Tapped, add a colorless to your mana pool. Pay 2, tap, draw a card, then discard a card. Pay 4, tap to just straight up draw the card. Pay 6, tap, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. A lot of value in this card, that's for sure. It takes a gallon of gas. Oh my goodness. Tommy, with the puns out here. Jaren back. Okay, Jaren, we're gonna go Optimus Prime Hero. 6 mana for a 4/8 robot. More than meets the eye for 5 mana. Now, at the beginning of each end step, you get the Bolster 1. And when Optimus Prime dies, return to the battlefield converted under its owner's control. You cannot blow me up. You can just transform me into Optimus Prime Autobot Leader. Not a loser, a leader. And it's got living metal, trample. Whenever you attack, bolster 2, and then the chosen creature gains trample until end of turn. When that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, convert Optimus Prime. So it's this. I wouldn't go as far as say this is indestructible, but like in the cartoon, like if it got blown up, would you just transform into like a truck or something? Is that how this is working? Like I blow you up into it. I blow you up. Now what? You just revealed my secret form, the Optimus Prime Autobot leader. As far as I'm concerned. Nikachu, I think they meant treasure map. It flops. Ah, treasure map. That could be true. Okay, so okay, we fixed it. 2-mana artifact. Pay 1. Tap. Scry 1. Put a landmark counter on treasure map. Then if there are 3 or more landmark counters on it, remove those counters, transform treasure map, and create 3 treasure tokens. And it's going to transform into the treasure cove. Tap to add a colorless or tap sack a treasure to convert those treasures into some sweet cash. Summer didn't got a card. Starscream Power Hungry. Mono black Starscream? That's what it's called? Starscream? Is it gonna show up? This is a real card, right? Toads is an absolute real one. Starscream Power Hungry? It's called Power Hungry? Oh, another Transformer card. 4 mana for a 2/3, more than meets the eye. You can cast it, convert it for 3 mana. Flying? Oh yeah, it's got the wings on it or whatever. Flying, whenever you draw a card, if you're the monarch, target opponent loses 2 life. Then when 1 or more creatures deal combat damage to you, creatures deal to you, convert the Starscream. Turns into Starscream Seeker Leader, a 2/3 vehicle with living metal, flying in menace. Haste, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if there is no monarch, that player becomes... If there's no monarch, that player becomes the monarch. Whenever you become the monarch, convert Starscream. Why would I want to give the monarch to somebody else? It's just weirdly bizarre. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much for sharing all your flip cards. All the cards, magic cards that have the flips. They do flip, don't they? If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who is here. You got to be there or be square. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or super chat so other people be part of the show. And sometimes you super chat a card that we already looked at, and that also helps other people be part of the show. And most importantly, we got to thank the people who are here every day. People like Tommy Siddons, Christopher B., Summer Mermaid Star. We got Clara, Ferginka, Astral, Archon, Tom Squires, Old Boy. Avatar of Woe, Jess. We got Arrow, Bell, Steve Cooper, Pedgeman. Where's Pedgeman? Did I label Pedgeman? We got Steve Cooper. Crowcore Games, Ryan Harris. Celtic Guardian, King Ginger. Who else do we have here? James! Hot Tub Stream, you're already blue. Embrace it. Maybe I will, James. Maybe I will. This is not Twitch, though. There's no hot tub category here on YouTube. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next